I've hot-footed it down to the studio for the chat with the first of my 2 exclusive live stream guests. First up is a showmaker, a conceptual director, a writer, a performer, a producer whose international career ranges from TED and the United Nations to a whole range of fantastical technological performances all over the world. She's delivering the amazing closing performance for the Frontiers Planet Prize later on this afternoon, alongside Enrique Villacresis. Welcome, Natasha Tsakos. Hello.
Hello, Greg.
Thanks for coming and chatting to me. I know you're busy, you're prepping. We just pulled you out of rehearsal.
Yes, you did.
So I'm keen to hear more about the inspiration behind your work. I mean, your performances merge live action with technological aspects. Where do the ideas come from?
I mean, the ideas come from everywhere. I'm not short of ideas. I think the big question is, how do they apply? Like,
Right.
What's the goal? What's the mission? What are we doing here? That's really the key.
Do you have like a little book you write all the ideas
Oh
in?
yeah, everywhere. I have pencils in the bathroom, in the bedroom, in the kitchen, and everywhere.
Well, that was going to be my next question about creativity.
Yeah.
It's like, does inspiration just strike randomly, or do you have a place that you go to and that's where kind of ideas are born?
You can definitely use triggers, right? Music is a trigger so that you can be completely mobile, and some places, of course, sort of nurture a certain state.
The shower,
Like
for me.
Yes.
I have so many good ideas in the shower.
Yes. But you know, I think the best ideas come when you stop thinking about it, when you sort of trust your subconscious to sort of compute in the background.
Right.
Because this is why suddenly you're struck with with an idea, and it's like, oh my God, I had never thought about that before. This is so
I call that marinading, where you just let the ideas just kind of like marinade in the background.
Yes,
and then
yes.
you suddenly
Boom.
have them. Let's talk about collaborators, because putting on performances like what you perform, it takes a lot of kind of people to come together and make things and build things and work together. Where do you find people, and what's the process of bringing a vision to life?
Oh my God, it takes time. It takes decades to just find the right people, right? Because it's a hit and miss often. I think it's also finding the wild cards. You know, not looking for sort of the conventional.
Because they bring something
unconventional.
that you're not necessarily expecting or planned.
That's right.
Right. Can you give us a little teaser for what we're going to see later on?
Well, 2 great maestros realized they've been double booked to conduct this grand orchestra of data sets, and suddenly get caught in a whirlwind of data pertaining to the planetary boundaries. Things get epic until they find a solution.
Okay. How do you think immersive performance, unconventional performance art, can help affect behaviour change? How can it mobilise collective action, especially to benefit the planet?
I think this is a boundary that has yet to be pushed, right? Because up until now, arts have been very demonstrative. And I think we're now starting to understand the dynamics at play between art, science, and technology, and sort of weaving them together to really empower and enable real change, not just emotional change. However, I think behaviors and people don't change until you move them, right? We change through emotions, through catharsis, and that is what the arts do. And that is why it's so important. We have a lot of solutions today, but what we're lacking is the willpower from people and just the understanding, the catharsis for people to just be able to sort of shift and sort of adapt to the times. And that's, the arts do that.
Because, you know, people have often done that separation, haven't they, between art and science? They've said that they're two houses, whereas very much, you know, any scientist knows of the art that's involved in the act of doing science, you know, as well as the objective measurements. There's so much, and there's kind of the science, the logic, the process involved in art.
That's right.
Is that part of what excites you and draws you into this kind of like cross-platform work?
Yes. I love this world of technology and science, and I love being able to fuse the two together and understand and learn, and sort of take the work at another level each time.
Tell me a little bit about the previous projects you've done. Kind of paint those pictures for people.
Oh my goodness, so many.
Pick your top 3.
Pick a top 3. Well, Upwake is. It was my first multimedia show and still very close to my heart. It tells a story of Zero, a toon character, going through work and stuck between dream and reality and not able to make out the two. That was early on the 2000s, and I was already projecting and 3D mapping on all the surfaces of the stage and all.
Which was very early then to be doing that.
It was very early, yes.
Do you remember the Eurovision where everything was kind of 3D mapped? It was like, oh, we found this new thing.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, sorry, right, so that was one.
Uh-huh.
Can you think of one more?
A complete pivot during the pandemic, right? Because as we know, everything shut down, theaters, artists out of commission. And I realized, oh my God, I have the solution. I know how to bring back live entertainment in the physical world, immersive, interactive, and safe. And the way we do that is we create the greatest car wash show on earth. So I took all the elements of a car wash and I blew them out of proportion, right? So think like, what if Disney took the concept of a car wash and sort of really created an immersive experience around it. And that was completely non-multimedia, but it was extraordinary and it was medicine for the soul, and we were on a mission to scale joy. And the third one I have not done yet, and my goal and my moonshot is to create shows for outer space environments.
Literal moonshot.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, because if we are to become a multi-planetary civilization, I think we ought to think now about culture in space, and we need to start training the next generation of artists for space.
To perform, is that not only to perform in zero-G or reduced gravity, but also to kind of embrace that as a story element?
To perform on the moon, to perform on Mars. If we're colonizing both right now, where is the art? What are we going to do? Suborbital flights on Virgin Galactic. Let's do it. Let's bring the arts.
Final question then. I've only got a couple of minutes with you. What does it mean to be here today and to be part of the Planet Prize and performing here?
It's such an honor. I feel very privileged, and I've been given an important task. I hope I will do the honor.
Well, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of talk about it. We're all very excited to see it later. So thanks very much. And thanks for nipping in and talking to me. I really
it's a
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
Greg. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.